Black Boss is up next. Like I do like Lee Sin. It's a bit more targetable than I'm comfortable with. Like it doesn't do as well into the sideboard format. I overestimated how well Lee Sin could use the sideboard in relation to how well other decks could use the sideboard against Lee Sin. Like at the end of the day, I wasn't gonna play Invokes just because it's not really my comfort zone. It's not really like the archetype that I really like playing. Hang on, let me just go ahead and look at his deck first before we jump in. So Black Boss is running super standard Invoke with Plaza Splash and nothing else. We don't have to look at the sideboard yet because it's just game one where we're going into the main. But yeah, I mean, everything you'd expect here. Sorry that like the decisions in these games are taking so long, guys. It turns out there's a really large amount to think about. So it's Zoe Asol. Again, it's just super standard Invoke. He's running Star Scamp. Keeping Mentor and Zenith, honestly, like this is kind of a made hand, and he's got Zoe as well. I think I can just keep all of this. Let's kick actually Star Chart since we've got our own Zoe, and we'd rather draw than discount here. But I like one Zenith in this hand. I'm happy with one Mentor because we have Zoe. So he's got his own Zoe, so we just trade them here. If he's got two Zoes to my one, that's really bad. This is what happens in Zoe mirrors just a lot, like pretty commonly. So Lee's an alright draw. It's a little early. Like he's a safety draw. I don't really like having Lee this early. When I would rather just have a playable card in hand right now. I have the Dragon's kind of a bail though, because we can like Mentor into Eye here. It's not bad. It's playable. Mentor, like Eye is good to have as a one of in this matchup. Just like you really do want chump blockers in these kinds of positions. I guess I can just Eye and Sparklefly. And I mean, and just like start going elusive. His deck doesn't really have amazing ways of dealing with elusive things that are happening, so it's just a nice start to it. I can see a weird consideration to Zenith blading the Mentor. I do want to trigger a spell, and I'm not really using my mana for much else this turn. Like my hand is actually kind of bricked out. I don't know, maybe I'm dumb. I kind of like Zenith blading the Mentor. I guess he's already incentivized to hush it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy just attacking here. Like, getting the Sparklefly here is quite nice. Getting the gems are fine if he's just gonna block. Looks good. So yeah, the thing is, because of the state of my hands, because I really want these gems, if I had Zenith bladed my Mentor, which is normally a weird play, but you definitely can do it sometimes in weird hands like this. If I Zenith my Mentor, then he would just like take a hush, which I don't even really want him to hush that, just because gems are so good in my hand right now. Like I need gems right now for how this game is gonna play out. He thought about actually maybe doing that hush there, I think. So I have to play Eye here so that next turn I can like open Zenith on Eye. Open Zenith on Eye is really good. Still haven't played an entire spell all game, of course. He still has the mystery card off of Mountain Scryer. It's really hard to hand read off of like a broad invoke like Mountain Scryer. That could really be anything. We have to play around so much. Like, it's so hard to play around everything against Mountain Scryer. Wish KDA board would change each match. Yeah, so you guys are saying you're just super sick of the KDA board. I mean, I can switch to a different board after this game if you remind me. Or I can just switch songs. See, I'm very happy to Zenith blade the Eye of the Dragon. It's just kind of like a perfect opening play here. Like, there's definitely things in his deck that can counter it, but nothing I really can play around right now. Like, he could be about to play Warrior or something, which is kind of annoying. So, solo attacking with Goat. This one's a little awkward. He could easily have, like, Pale Cascade, and I don't know if I really want to use Hush on Goat. Hush is actually not that good for me in this matchup. Like, it's alright, but if he has, like... I really need this Eye of the Dragon to stay alive. I think letting the Goat hit me is just kind of fine. Like, the damage doesn't really matter. My Dragonling will just get it back later anyway. Yeah, he's really heavily telegraphing Pale by doing this. I want a Dragonling for this next attack. I wanted like to get as many Dragonlings as possible. If I Lee Sin now, then I can Zenith Blade the Lee Sin next turn. It's gonna be really hard to actually like play 4 and try to protect this Lee Sin though. So it just comes down to what I want to do. I think I just Star Chart here. So Equinox isn't really as good in this matchup. You can use it on Mountain Scryer, it's not terrible. Mountain Scryer actually does have a pretty spooky effect, but there's usually better things. Moonglow for the Hush is really nice. Like, just like pre-protecting it is great. I think that's probably better than like Messenger here. Like, if I Moonglow the Lee, I can attack with it next turn, probably, I think. You can't play Lee if he has 5 mana, just because of Sun Comet. The thing is, though, that, I mean, this was a Scryer, not a Priestess, right? Like, the odds of it being specifically Comet are really low. Jinx board. If you guys remind me, I'll switch to the Jinx board after this. He just up and Comets this. Wow. That seems a little insane. Oh, yeah, you're right. 5 mana because of the Scryer. But that seems completely insane. I don't see why you would Comet there. So he has no invoked cards in his hand right now. I mean, I can't just play Lee here. The Zoe draw actually might change my play here. If I had a good way to curve out the Zoe draw, that might be better than playing Lee here. I think Lee is just kind of the best way to use my mana this turn, though. And, like, if I give it Barrier and have, like, Moonglow, then the Lee is just very, very safe to play out here. Yeah, I really don't get that comment at all. He definitely has other answers then. The thing is, his deck doesn't have other answers. Like, he hasn't invoked anything else yet, and his deck has no main decked answers. He might be hoping he gets other answers. You know, you can get something off of Scry, you can get something off of Priestess, but there's nothing you could have that actually directly counters Lee. That's why the comment's strange. It's not just like indicative of a hand, it's just a strange play. So, Moonglow now is pretty nice. It just, like, it doesn't really get countered by anything. I think... I could have played Zoe this turn, too. Like, sometimes she gets Hush blocked, but that's fine when that happens. Yeah, I should have played Zoe before those two, I think. Well, the thing is, though, I did want to play around, like, an Invoke. That's why I played Lee first. But the Zoe seeing 2 names matters. It does. I really did want... so the thing is, invoking is 2 actions, right? So if I play Zoe first, then when I Lee after he Scryers, then sometimes we die to Comet. So I needed that action economy there. I guess, yeah, playing Zoe after is fine. Double Scryer kind of spooky. Yeah, it is. When they have like this much discounts, they can sometimes do a lot of scary things. The Lee definitely wants to just like start threatening one of the Scryers right now. I can gem Zoe, but really Zoe's kind of best. Honestly, gemming the Eye of the Dragon's not bad here. He can Pale and kill it with Mountain Goat. Yeah, I think I just want to take like a reserved attack. I'll probably just gem the Lee. Like, just because Zoe is already happy if she doesn't get hushed. There's no reason to make that hush a little bit more appealing. So, because we're playing around Pale, I can kill the 3-1. But I guess there's not really the health point doesn't matter much, I think. I guess we're blocking that. If he Pales it twice, that's such a waste just to keep the Invoke on board. So yeah, this is fine. Yeah, he's Hush blocking the Zoe. And that's pretty much Zoe's job here. Like, if he doesn't have the other Hush, then he's in a really poor position. And if he does, then it's still Hush for Zoe, right? Like, that's still positive for me. That's what we need. That was first Hush? Because he used Comet on the Butterfly. Yeah, so that's his first Hush he's played. But our Lee being Bastions... Like, the Moonglow is really, really sick here. Really, really amazing. One more Hush down and we're good. Yeah, he doesn't really have great answers for Lee. He might be able to sideboard them in later. So now I can just straight up Zenith Lee. That looks amazing here. Like, that looks just perfect. We've got the Bastion Lee. This is, like, insanely top value for Moonglow. And again, we're afraid of, like, Hush popping Bastion and then, like, a big Invoke obliterating Lee. That's the scary thing. But he would need a second Hush and that Invoke to do that. Like, that's pretty tricky to do. Thinking about attacking with the lifesteal one. Wow. We're looking for the OTK. Yeah, I mean, we can try to threaten lethal next turn and see what happens. Like, we definitely have potential to OTK here. What do we have access to with Spell Thief? We have Hush. We have his Comet. That's it. Has he used the gem? I don't think he's even used the gem, right? It's just Hush and Comet right now. So, I mean, Hush blocking that does literally nothing. We always just, like, let this hit us. Do you ever grab Hush? There's no reason to grab it right now. Sometimes you can grab things before like the pool gets diluted, but it's only 2 spells, so I can still get it later. And I think there's actually more pressing things. Like Hush is just not useful on this board yet. So we needed the second gem for I here. And yeah, we'll threaten an OTK. I don't know if he can stop it at all. Like, this is kind of the perfect position here. I don't know if he can stop this OTK. Need 9 attack. I might need 10 attack. He's running Star Shapings. We'll see, though. So, I mean, when it levels up, it'll get 7. I could just Zenith the Lee now. Honestly, just do the other Zenith on the Lee right now to threaten it. I don't want to give him more actions. I don't want to give him more invokes. And I can actually steal a gem off of Star Thief for my open, right? I think I just Zenith it now. I don't think he can actually do anything else about this. He needs triple Hush hands? Yeah, he needs triple Hush right now, guys. That's so hard for him to have. If you're playing on Star Shipping, you need 11. I need 10, right? Because Lee has Overwhelm and it redoubles into 10. So we want to open attack, and we're actually potentially stealing gem with Star Thief. We need to, like, wait, hang on. He hasn't even invoked anything yet. He's played all of his invoked cards, which means we don't have to even open attack anymore. Like, unless he draws a card, like anything he could invoke is at the wrong speed. So it's because he doesn't have any Celestials in his hands, I'm completely free to develop in here. I don't have to do any like weird spell thief for gem. I'm just like double checking. He has no development Punisher here, none whatsoever. And he's played all of his invokes. So there's nothing stopping me from just playing Mentor here.
Enter, traveler, and stop staring.
Burst invoke? What burst invoke? Star Shaping into the Obliterate too? But that's too much mana and I have shield. His deck literally does nothing to the Lee. Yeah, this is pretty funny. Lee crushes invoke. I mean, he'll tech in some things in the side, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, this feels pretty good to me. So yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna make my Lee go up.
The dragon spirit awakens.
So yeah, that was. I mean, he had the Comet. Using it there was a very bizarre play. And yeah, I don't think it can really matter what we kick here. I don't see how it could. Double Hush can save him for 1 turn. Yes, the 3 Hush hand saves him for 1 turn. But that's incredibly rare, and I mean, we're never playing around triples, right? Okay, so we take game 1. That was one of the easier ones. That was like just us having a good hand and his deck not having the answer. If we didn't have Zoe on turn 1 and he did, that would have been a problem. But we had Zoe on 1 and we had like the kind of like that was the first game in this tournament where our deck has done like kind of not the absolute nut, but just the functionality that it wants in kind of the major ways at least. So now we have to look at his sideboard, and here's where he will put in counters. So Mind Splitter, but again, our deck has counters to Mind Splitter, a lot of them, and you saw that in the last game. Stoney's Suppressor is kind of trolly. 1 Sunburst we're gonna have to keep in mind, and he's gonna put in the single combats as well. Single combat is not gonna be scary because we've got the barrier, but it's something to be aware of. Like it's a good card against us. It is interaction for the Lee Sin or the Zoe. It's probably even better interaction for the Zoe. He's running singles, so I could still keep Nopify for single. I don't even mind that. I could also go down to 0 Nopify. Yeah, I mean, there's really not a ton of changes to make here. I think this is a matchup where Star Chart might be better than Sketcher overall. Nope, the fact that Nopify is basically just single combat, I think makes it probably not worth running. It's nice against single combat, but it's not the most important thing. Sparklefly is good there. I mean, he definitely shouldn't have commented the Sparklefly, but it still reflects like how annoying Sparklefly was there for his hand that he decided to. Like, Sparklefly is really nice as a 2F here. She's Jinx board? Okay, thanks for reminding me. What else? 2 deep mids. I could go to 3 deep mid version. I don't think that this one doesn't get as out grindy though. Spell Thief. Spell Thief is interesting. I don't know if I like Spell Thief more than deep mid in that matchup. I could also go to 2i. There's a lot of potential like mini tweaks we can make. So I can go to 3rd deep mid. I can go to 2nd eye. I can go down to 1 Spell Thief. I could cut a Sketcher because we've got, I think, 3 star charts in this one. Let me change the board now before I forget, actually. Because I know I'll forget if I don't change it now. I don't know. I don't think Hush is even like amazing against that deck. It does a bit, but it's definitely not a 3-of in this matchup. Like I feel like Notify does more than Hush there actually. Even because like he will put in 3 single combats in this. He has to, I think. You need to stop Mind Splitter. Yeah, I mean I could run a 3rd Spacey. This is where we want the wills, I think, because he's going like 3 Mind Splitter. So I could, I guess I can get 1 Eye of the Dragon. It's not bad. Okay, Zoe Assault again. We have another pretty good hands. We have the hands we kind of need. Big problem is like, I mean, Mentor Lee is fine here. Not having access to Zoe is bad. I think I actually might need to keep Super Cool Star Chart though. Like if he has Zoe, we're gonna have maybe a problem. That could be really bad. There might actually be, like keeping Mentor might actually be kind of baity here. Like Super Cool will give me something for Mentor to hit, and the fact that I have Lee and just the nature of this matchup, it's just because of how this matchup plays and how last game played that like keeping Lee Mentor feels good. That's a great draw. That's what we want. And he could easily have the Zoe now. So he doesn't have Zoe either. That's amazing for us. That's exactly what we needed. So we always just trade goat to goat. There's actually, wow. Did we just not take this trade? I mean, his goat hitting us doesn't matter. We do need something for Mentor to attach to like force some amount of value. And if he kills the Mentor and leaves the goat, then we're fine too. Yeah. Yeah, I just let that through then. The gem doesn't even matter for him? Yeah, exactly. And the health basically doesn't either.
Mystical levitation requires concentration.
He hushed a unit and the barrier didn't fade away. Did it happen twice? Is he still in the tournament, or did he actually get eliminated because of that? That's pretty crazy. So yeah, like the gem here is a little bit awkward because he can trade the goats anyway, but it just means my Mentor at least has some value to give, I guess. Yeah, I mean, sure. I guess like I kind of won that by 1 mana because he did 3 damage to me, but he used the gem, which did cost him the 1 mana there. So I think that puts me ahead for what I want. He's used 1 gem. And that's the only spell he's got for my Spell Thief pool. Zenith is a great top deck here. We were going to need that in the next couple of turns. This feels good. So he does have the ability to just kill my Mentor for free here. I think that's kind of just okay. I mean, I don't really care about Mentor as long as I'm getting the gems. I can Super Cool here. I don't mind it. There's a weird consideration to Zenith Blade. Ha, God, I actually don't hate Zenith Blading here either. I think it actually has to be right. It's so niche, but I just don't have any units here. And there's a good chance that if Star Chart offers me Equinox, I might need to take it, which is a big problem for trying to do the Star Chart here instead. Like the fact that Mentor is like my only unit. If this forces a Pale, then I mean that's fine for him. Like if he pre-pales, then I almost don't even hate hushing that. Hush value just went up? Yeah, of course, but that's fine in this case. It's just a different situation than last time. I mean, if I hush the Shield Bearer, then my Mentor lives. I think that's pretty terrible here. Like, I just don't think I care enough. The Meteor Living doesn't matter. We just want to make sure it gets value. Like, the Zenith Blade can get really clunky and bricked in my hand. If I don't Zenith Blade there. Like, forcing the value out here is good. Like, we don't need to play this in a hurry. We just need to kind of, like, whittle him down on resources while not doing any, like, weird commitments. So he does have that one invoked card. The Sketcher, the left card in his hands, second to left right now is the card that he invoked off of Sketcher. So none of those cards really stop bleed directly, but something like Crescent can be a little bit awkward. Sunburst mana. So he has sided in he has sided in one Sunburst. One Sunburst. I don't know if I can play around with this one of actually. Like, a symmetrical pass here is really bad for me. He could have Solari, Sunforger into single too. I guess I have to open pass. That's pretty terrible. I'm literally burning the top deck, which isn't great. Him burning mana is not bad for me either. I could alternatively play the star chart, but then I'm not burning his mana by doing that. Yeah, I think passing is necessary. My top deck doesn't matter that much. Like, I have a made hand. I'm not on a draw, but he should pass here. He's misplaying by not passing here always, I think. Interesting. Does Sunburst go through Spell Shield? It doesn't. So I can Lee and gem attack the Scryer. Pale Cascade is awkward if I do that, I guess. Yeah, I can easily be Pale Cascade. Yeah, I think Lee here is good. I mean, now that we have Deny for Sunburst or Comet, that's kind of all we need. If I want to, I guess my Lee can kill the Sketcher for free without risking anything. Killing the Sketcher does basically nothing, and it just taps me under like some re-responses I want next turn. So I'm pretty sure I just can't do anything at all here, which is fine. Just getting our mana out on the board so that we have the ability to deny with Lee, like we can protect him here is such a big deal, right? Like, he taps under, we safely play Lee, and then by the time he has mana, we have deny.
Can you explain why Zenith Blade is a 3 of in Lee decks? It is my favorite deck and I only run 2.
2 of Zenith Blade is a fine call. Some run 3 and some run 2. 3 is more popular than 2. The biggest thing is, like, against a lot of matchups, if you don't draw Zenith, you actually lose your way to win. And using Zenith proactively on stuff like Mountain Goat and Eye of the Dragon honestly just feels great. 2 is a very reasonable call. What I can tell you is that when the Aphelios Weapon Invoke card comes out in a few weeks, the like Gifts from Beyond or whatever it's called, Zenith Blade will be a 2 of in this deck max, because you'll have access to Overwhelm off of that blade, just in case you need Overwhelm on something, I think. So now he's down to 4 mana, but if he has Comet, he can still do it because he has double Scryer, which is scary, which gives me like a 3 mana limit. I can Zenith here, and it's perfectly fine to Zenith here. I have Deny mana open. If he drags the Lee, then I just let it through if he doesn't attach anything to it, and if he does, then I can counter response. So now he's down on mana. Oh no, wait, the Messenger was completely free, so he still has Comet mana right now. So I still need to keep Deny mana open. It's a little bit awkward. I guess I have to pass now. Passing now actually feels pretty terrible. I mean, his board isn't aggressive enough, so I'm kind of fine if he takes this attack. But yeah, this double Scryer board is terrifying. And there it is. There's Starry Scamp. And now suddenly his board is scarily aggressive. The Mountain Scryer, like, he doesn't have great chances of having Comet. I think at this point, I should just tap under Deny. Like, the odds of him having exactly Comet are pretty low. And I'm actually having a big problem against his, like, aggro win condition right now. The scary thing is, though, Star Chart is kind of my Equinox. Do I have anything off of Spell Thief? My Spell Thief is kind of completely bricked here. The only thing is, like, his Hush will keep him alive for a turn if he has 1 Hush. Because we don't have Spell Shields. If I get Moon Glow off of this Star Chart, then I can just try to kill him next turn, maybe. I think I Star Chart now then, actually. To get the barrier. If I get Moonglow, then I'm safe against Comet anyway. I mean, I guess the barrier doesn't matter, but I need to spend my mana this turn. I can't just like pass and burn my 4 mana just to keep the eye open. And if I get Moonglow, then I'm playing around that rare Comet anyway. So I don't think there's a reason to not just do this. And I have to go for Glow, I think. Man, it is a little terrifying to not go for Equinox. That could just be wrong. But if I Glow here, with these 3 gems, we're potentially lethaling him next turn, right? I have a 4th gem. Spell Thief is a guaranteed 4th gem. He's at 19. Oh, we need 1 more point of damage. He needs to be at 18 right now. That's so sad, dude. We need to draw, like... Does Pale Cascade do it? Deep Med doesn't do it. Yeah, we're 1 point off, right? We have a 9 attack Lee. Yeah, we're 1 off. We have +4. Our Lee has 5, so it goes to 9. We have a 9 attack Lee no matter what happens here. We can't hit his Pale with Spell Thief. If he plays Pale here, we Spell Thief Pale. That's 3 mana. Then we've got 3 more for the gems. That would be enough if he plays Pale this round, but he's not going to. This sucks. I mean, we don't need to open attack here. Is there a draw off of Deep Meditation that does anything? No, it's too much. Yeah, we're 1 damage short. If he Pales and gives us Pale on Spell Thief, like if he tries to find an answer or something like that, then that can potentially win us the game. But we don't have lethal here. That sucks so much. One damage off. I guess we just need to set up to try to survive 1 extra turn. We have Will of Ionia, so we can just do that. I mean, we have no choice but to Deep Med here and try to draw something that gives us a bit of a wider board, I guess, right? Steal the Crescent. Crescent doesn't do anything this turn.
Conflict is all in the mind.
I don't know. I guess, like, if I keep Deny Mana up and it gives him a chance to fuck up. I should have just kept Deny Mana up. Because he could have just, like, cast a spell and played into me here.
As the dragon wills.
We need units so we don't die. Yeah, exactly. We just need to survive 1 turn. And because we have Will of Ionia, we have a decent chance at doing that, but... If we had lethal, I'd go for it every time there. But he should just go wide and kill us. Like, killing lead doesn't even matter for him because we're 1 short off of lethal. Interesting. I mean, he needs a redevelopment here then? Okay. I mean, if he's got, like, good discounted cards, then he can kill us. He needs to kill us here, though. Deep Med was troll. Yeah, Deep Med was troll. You could win this round. Guys, we didn't have lethal there.
Weapons golden as the dawn.
But the fact that we're not open to a top deck elusive is kind of awkward. But yeah, Deep Med was definitely bad there. It was impossible to kill him at 19. Yeah, we didn't have 19 damage, guys. We had 18 damage. Why not concede? Because Lee's not our win condition in this matchup. Not right now. Or sorry, Lee dying isn't our lose condition, I should say. This is more accurate. Yeah, man, I guess I just do another Crescent. It's better here than committing any other resources. Yeah, Hush is good here. So we can play Mentor. Mentor is a bit better than Second Crescent, I think. No, Hush still beats that. Yeah, it's like we just needed 1 more damage earlier. That's how we win that game. I don't think we can, like, deep meditation is definitely a misplay, I guess. But the thing is, I don't think we can win without an out there. Like, that was a losing game with his hands. The fact that we had one less damage just means we don't win that game without a top deck. And so it just becomes a math problem, right? It's just like how to best calculate our odds there. Yeah, we just got smorked down. Deep med into Pale into Sketcher Snake. Yeah, something like that. Like, that's why I deep medded. Like, don't get me wrong, it might have been wrong, but I deep medded because I realized we were dead unless we had an out. That's why I did it. Like, we could not have survived. Like, Lee dying isn't what the problem is there. Like, we don't survive against any hands. I queued with the right deck, right? I clicked on the Invoke one. I'm pretty sure I clicked on the right deck. We got Zoe. Yeah, we got Zoe, which is the most important thing. Yeah, man, I'll keep the one eye, I think. Here versus Bones if you win this. Yeah, we'll see. So we got Zoe and he didn't. That's really gigantic. Star Trade discount. So again, his sideboard is not really big here. Like, he can do some weird single, but sideboard has a pretty low impact on this game. If I hit like Snake or Charger, then I stop this attack here, which I think is fine. I could also just let it happen. If I hit Moonsilver or Snake, then I can curve it with Eye. But I'm not going to Moonsilver for the Eye. Yeah, I guess the Star Chart's worth playing here. I think it's actually a little too early for Equinox. I am more scared about the aggro condition than anything else right now. I don't know. I mean, if he has Hush, he skips this attack and then just Hush blocks. If he has single combat or Hush, he has to skip this attack. Snake there would have been a lot better for that reason, by the way. If this was a Snake, then even if he Hushes, we still get the Zoe attack. Charger is a lot worse than Snake. I think just because, like, I would have taken Snake over the other thing, but Charger's a lot worse than Snake here. Like, Snake is really what we were going for. I mean, I don't really have a good ability to keep Zoe alive. If I mentor the Charger, then that can actually be really funny sometimes. Oh, man. It's so weird. I think it has to be I, just because Mentor is so off curve, but this does kind of suck. If he passes here, I just pass back, I think. Yeah, I think I pass again here. If he needs to like Hush kill my Zoe and Zoe levels up in this game, then I can actually win the game. And he's burning mana. Like, that's a good pass. It has to be. Like, he now needs a way to kill Zoe, and that could be a really big problem for him. And if I level up Zoe on this board, like, because I played her so early, if I level up Zoe on this board, her level up can actually win us the game. Burning mana is better than solo attack Charger? Yes. So, since he's at 3 mana, I don't need to keep Deny open, which means I can just play Mentor here and be efficient. What do you think about Stony in his deck? So, he has Stony in his sideboard. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't put it in this matchup. I don't know. That seems weird to me. I don't know. Maybe it makes sense in this matchup. Like, I do run a lot of spells, but Stony... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's his game plan. Usually I see Stony as like typically more of a later gameplay. But if he's side decking at all, he could be putting it in this matchup. Is sure, very possible. So we just want to like have a way to protect Zoe. I think I just Zenith Blade the Eye of the Dragon here. I'd like a better Zenith Blade, but there isn't really one. If I Zenith Blade the Zoe, then I'm protecting her from the deal 4, deal 1 meteor shower thing. But, I mean, I have Deny for that. I just don't think it does enough. Like, he already needs to kill Zoe, and he doesn't really have a lot of ways of dealing 1 damage. And if I, like, mentor attack with this eye, then the eye actually starts getting, like, scary, and we can start putting real pressure on him if he's not spinning his mana efficiently. So he really can't feel comfortable burning mana here. There's his invoked card. Something to try to kill Zoe here and hope I don't have deny. Oh, it was Meteor Shower. Wow. I mean, deny cleans that up. Deny feels really great here. Like, we've got 2 of them anyway. So that's perfect. I mean, it's an equivalent mana trade because, you know, he's down, but that's amazing plus mana for me. So again, we can pass and threaten to burn mana. This time, the attack has more value because, like, Mentor getting in an attack actually matters. We have some tempo options here. If he plays a 3 mana card, though, that gives us access to attack with Zoe, which we're, like, locking him out of banking a certain amount of spell mana by doing this. It's just a 3 mana card. So the question is, what 3 mana cards does he actually have? So Light Priestess, but that's Daybreak, he wouldn't play here. So he doesn't really have 3 mana cards he would play here. So what that means is attacking is better than passing, I think. Yeah, I think attacking here is good. I still don't want to attack with Zoe, though. So the thing is, if he has a single combat instead of a Hush, then I'm sort of like wasting value by not attacking with Zoe. He is playing like he has Hush. And in this kind of hand state, in this kind of board state, Zoe can win the game on her own. I guess, like, he doesn't mind. Like, this is still a pretty good Hush for him. Yeah, I might have to attack with Zoe there just because unless he has 2 Hushes, we get unpunished. Because, like, yeah, we're still giving him too good of a Hush. Oh, he does have the 2 Hushes. Jesus. So my Zoe would have died on this attack. It's very fascinating. Now that we've forced out both Hushes, my Zoe might be able to start attacking now. Our hand isn't great. Like, because we don't have Lee Sin or a ton of draw, we have to play a little weird. But without the Eye of the Dragon, the Zoe level up doesn't do maybe as much. Sparklefly is good for the Zoe level up. And we always just let that happen. We just want to go wide. So we have Spell Thief here. Spell Thief right now is hitting Hush. Spell Thief is a unique cast. I think I want to open with Zenith. If I Zenith right now on Zoe, the only way he can try to stop that, it just plays around a lot of things. Zoe's already seen Zenith, so it doesn't count as a cast for her, but it allows me to Pale and level up Zoe next turn if I do that. Like, I do just want to cycle the Zeniths out of my deck. I want to get the 3rd Zenith here. What is Zoe at? She's only at 6 out of 10, but I can accelerate that pretty quickly. She hasn't seen a gem yet. So if I like Spell Thief into gem, into Pale, then into Sparklefly, that's her level. But I need him to gem to do that. And I think saving Pale for the attack turn is important. He's got a discounted card from Priestess, which means we're probably going to need Deny. I really want to Spell Thief into gem. I would do that right now if I could, but Spell Thief is only pulling Hush right now. He hasn't gemmed yet. Oh, man. Pale... I think I have to Pale here. I think I have to be mana efficient. If he single combats right now and I Pale, then I win the game. It depends on what I top deck. It depends on what I top deck. If I top deck something cheap, then I can still level Zoe into this attack. Fuck! I mean, it's okay. It doesn't help me level Zoe. I still need to Pale. I can just Sparklefly into Pale, into Spell Thief, into something. Oh, man, this sucks so much. I have no good options here. I don't want to open attack. I don't want to open Sparklefly. Pale has to draw me something specific now for Zoe to level up. That was such a bad draw. Wow. Meteor Shower again. He's dealing 4 to Zoe again, so... If I Spell Thief the Shower on the stack before I deny it, I can steal Meteor Shower. And that's 5 mana, so I can't chain it with Deny this turn. So stealing Meteor Shower is really funny here, but it doesn't actually do enough. If I deny this. So if I Pale... Yeah, Zoe can't level up here. This... Oh, that draw was so bad. I think I need to take Meteor Shower. Just because it's really annoying for him next turn. And I don't think I can steal a better spell here. So I Spell Thief while it's on the stack. Because if you deny it, you can't Spell Thief it anymore. And Hush isn't as good against him. Meteor's already in the Thief Pool. We denied it. It's not... Denied cards don't go into the Thief Pool. Unless they change that. Maybe I missed that in the patch notes. If his card is single combat, then I can sometimes win the game on the spot here. I can't play around third Hush anymore. Sketcher levels her if I draw Pale into Sketcher. That's true. If he's got third Hush, he's just a good player. That's just how it goes. The thing is, I can't not attack with Zoe there. Like, it's never worth the odds for third Hush. I have no choice but to attack with Zoe. Yeah, I mean, Pale here is okay. I can kill a Scryer. I can't really outvalue him long term. It might be better for me to just like deal more damage and keep the Charger alive. I mean, if he has his own Pale, then we'll just do that. But yeah, Zoe, in different hand states, Zoe's not as incredibly important to protect. I know it looked weird that we didn't attack with her earlier, but he had to have Hush in his hand before 2 turns ago where he double Hushed because of how he was playing. He could not have not had Hush in his hand, which is why we didn't attack with Zoe before. But we have to attack with it here because the odds of him having third Hush are a little low. And because of the uniqueness of the situation, like, because our Eye of the Dragon died to the first Hush, and because we lost so much steam off the triple Hush hand. Like, once he Hushed the Mentor in the Eye, suddenly we're not even in a solid enough position to play around that anymore. Like, we need to draw the card. Lee Sin's our best top deck, so it's usually like Mind Splitter here if we open with Lee Sin. Have to keep that in mind. I don't know. I think against his hand range, Lee is probably not enough to bail us out. Like, we had a really Zoe heavy hands. He doesn't have Hush now? True, sure. The fact that I'm 1 mana short of Lee Will is a little annoying. It means we can't play Lee this turn. I don't know. I mean... Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, Lee should be good here against, like... Single combat's a bit of an issue. But now that he's used all 3 Hushes, the Lee top deck might be enough. The problem with Lee is this hand right now. We need a more spell-heavy hand for Lee to be good. I can never, like, get him valued in to attack this Lee, right? Yeah, that's always just a misplay. I don't know. He has such a hard time attacking it there. Yeah, I think we just Meteor now. There's a bit of a question which of these I want to kill. The discount is kind of annoying, but I think the goat matters more here in this case. The discount would be more annoying if he had a bigger hand, basically. That's kind of funny. So yeah, he is swapping in Stony for this. So the mana point, we're going to 9+3 potentially. Lee plus Zenith is total of 9. So if we draw a 2 mana spell, we would win the game by not tapping for the Sparklefly here. He gets to kill the Sparklefly for free too, which is kind of obnoxious. Yeah, so I mean, suddenly I can't play the Sparklefly. That extra mana point just has too high of a chance of mattering. It's just not worth 1 mana to play it here. Even though, like, setting up a little bit of extra damage could be pretty important. So I have to Lee. He has potential answers to this. I mean, we don't have enough mana to will this turn, right? Unless he, like, wills before I Zenith Blade. He can't Mind Splitter either. 6 mana Will, Keck W. Yeah, why'd they nerf Will again, guys?
Extend your senses.
Was Meteor necessary there? I don't think it does more than what it did in that position. The thing is, Stony doesn't actually change that much. Like, there's nothing I'm killing with Meteor. Like, killing Meteor there basically buys me a couple of extra turns if he has a weird stall hand that doesn't kill me, which is possible, by the way. So, if I Zenith Blade now, if he Mind Splitters, he needs Mind Splitter plus single combat to win the game. Otherwise, we win if he Mind Splitters right now. So I think there's just no downside Zenith thing. There's a hilarious consideration to pass. Letting him like draw into another invoke is really bad though. He can't mind single, that's 11. Oh, that's true. Yeah, passing, I don't really like this pass here, guys. It's just too cute. It is really funny that he doesn't have enough mana for Mind Splitter single because of Stony Suppressor. Like, that's hilarious. One off lethal? Really? Looks like lethal to me. I guess I Sparkle here. If he's got, like, Pale plus single on top of that, he's priced into doing that either way. I mean, giving him the extra action doesn't help him in any way. I mean, we just have to see if we can go for the lethal here. I guess, like, he might kind of have a better single. Okay, dude, just do this. Like, now that he's played that, I don't think it's worth it for me to push for lethal this turn, just because I have the Will of Ionius. Like, passing before even doing anything is definitely wrong, but in this case, it's actually really awkward for him to do much. We have to play around single and Mind Splitter, and Will of Ionia in hand plays around both. So the scariest thing he can do now is invoke something that obliterates Lee, which we might not have an answer to. I mean, he might not have enough mana to do it. Stony Suppressor is maybe limiting him in that regard. This is so weird. All three of these series in this tournament, by the way, have all been kind of crazy. They've all gone to best of 3 and they've all ended in like, the game 3 in all of these was nuts. Like, this is such a close and crazy game again. You can recall Lee and play Lee with Sparklefly if he obliterates, yeah. So, I think Goat's pretty free here. I mean, if he wants to like Crescent Strike and tap me for a bit, he can. I don't care. Just discard an Asol, that's kind of interesting. He could have... I mean, he doesn't have enough mana for Mind Splitter Bastion, because Bastion costs too much. I mean, Goat's kind of cute to play just because sometimes the gem actually matters next turn. Because, like, my Lee actually needs Challenger. And I might not have the gem. So he can't... If I will the Mind Splitter and he has the single, then I have to have the other will to beat the single. But then I don't have a gem for Lee Sin. So now I take the will. I will now. Because the Mind Splitter forces the will first. If he had single, he had to take it there. Because otherwise, my Lee survives anyway. So now I Mountain Goat. And we couldn't have Mountain Goated because of that specific hand. The single combat Mind Splitter hands. We have to beat that. So here's the problem, which is our Lee Sin can't actually necessarily open attack for it, right? Like, we still have that problem. He's at 4 mana. He can't have anything at 4 mana here. He can have Pale single still. No, that's not 4 mana. Just top deck a spell. Yeah, just top deck a spell. Smiley face. I mean, Sparklefly might be lethal even without it. Why can't you open a Willie's blocker? Because Lee doesn't have Challenger if we just don't do that. I can Sketcher. Sketcher will always give Lee a spell, basically, unless I hit all 3 units. We lose Will. Oh. That's so weird. I think we do just attack. This is the weirdest thing ever, but because he's at 1 health, if he has star shaping is really awkward. Star shaping is really awkward here. But I think we should be good enough to it in general. If I will and he survives, then we can lose the game. That's such a way to lose the game. This is such a close decision. It's so weird. Okay, we're good. Jesus Christ. Overthinking it. There's a lot to play around there, guys. Like, a star shaping plus X hand loses us the game by open attacking, and we beat that hand by developing. Like, yeah, open attacking is correct, but there's still it is something to think about there. That's such a crazy finish. That was so crazy. Like, I think we had to play those last like 3 turns exactly like we did. We had to play the Zenith into the Lee, and then attack once he played the Sunforger, bluffing a spell, or at least like not committing for no reason. Keeping both wills up. What a crazy finish to the game, dude. That was so insane. That was so insane. What a series again. All 3 series have been ridiculous. Ridiculously close. I've made a couple of like misplays in this tournament. Like, obviously there's the one with the Zoe thing. Yeah, sometimes that shit happens. And the Hush thing, which was just a miscalculation on my part. This is such a crazy tournament.